Nancy.
With every single round. With every single round. With every single round.
Okay, we're gonna get started shortly. If there are any viewers, okay, we're gonna get started shortly. If there are any viewers, okay, we're gonna get. Oh, I figured it out. Sorry, apparently I had my stream also broadcasting audio. Apologize. Let me know if you can hear everything okay at this point in time. So, apologize for the brief, amount of time trying to get everything set up. Had a little bit of technical difficulties. We're getting there. We'll start the stream shortly with more of the Painscreek killings. So, please, if you are coming back or just joining, feel free to talk in chat or join the Discord, and we'll get started in just a moment. Okay, so for those of you who may not have caught the previous streams, the Painscreek Killings is a murder mystery game that doesn't hold your hand. It asks you to figure out what happened during a cold case murder of one Vivian Roberts, who was the person who I guess was the wife of the ex-mayor in town, and go from there. And it doesn't hold your hand. There's no cues. There's no mentions of like what you should be doing next. There's no hints, anything. You kind of have to piece it all together yourself. I did create a mind map for it, so if you'd like to see that, please let me know, but it's what I'm using to keep track of all of the evidence we've collected so far, other than just looking at random notes. Let me know if the audio is okay, or if it's too low, too soft, whatever, during the stream, and I can go in and do some tweaks. Again, this is like the third time I've streamed, so thank you those of you who have come by, and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, we left off in Trishas bedroom and we were doing some investigating. So we just investigated these two drawers and we were about to go around the room and start trying to find other things. In the drawers, we found a key that was put there by one of the employees, one named Dorothy. She is the I guess you could say head servant slash nanny who helped raise Trisha. So this right here is the key supposedly to 40 Black Pine Road, which you can see on the map here of Painscreek, runs adjacent to where the mansion is. So we're going to take a look around this room and try some of the other rooms in the mansion, and then we're probably going to go and check out Dorothy's house. We also have a key for Bernard's house, which is on Silver Lake Boulevard. There's a lockbox. I don't think I have a key for this. I've got an attic key. I've got the nanny key. I've got the tea room key. Bernard's key and Dorothy's key. So no, I do not have a key to get into this box. I'll have to find something later to open it. Okay, so it looks like Trisha was in the hospital for some reason, so I'm going to take a picture of that. Another thing about this game is that you can take and keep pictures. So once you have taken a picture, all you gotta do is press P, and then you can go back and take a look at it. And as you can see, we've taken quite a few pictures. Hey, it's another diary. Okay, so yet another diary from Trisha Roberts. This one is from when she was very young, so 1988. That would have put her at, oh goodness, 14? No, she was born in, yeah, 14. She was born in 74. So, November 13th, 1988. Scott's a strange kid. Very quiet. I don't think it's right for the other boys to bully him and call him names. I wonder why Scott's parents don't want him. So, another thing, one of the mysteries of this town is there is a missing child who went missing in 1989. So let me pull up that information real quick before we finish reading this. Okay, let's see. Where is that information? I thought I had taken a picture. Oh, there it is. So, this is one Joshua S. Taylor, who went missing November 3rd, 1989. So let's keep an eye on the dates in this journal and see if we see anything from that. Okay. Let's go to my journals. Diary for Trisha Roberts. Here we go. January 6, 1989. I don't like after-school programs, especially ballet. It's difficult and boring, and I hate proper etiquette. What's wrong with being myself? I don't need to be like Mom. August 3rd, 1989. I haven't seen Dad for a while. I wonder when he'll be back. Every time I enter the study room, I can smell his tobacco smell. It's the perfect reminder when he's gone for so long. I miss Dad. Mom's always working. She's so busy with other people that she has no time for me. Sometimes I wonder if Mom loves me. Maybe I should call Dorothy Mother instead. And then we have the code to the study room. So it's 44871. That means we have the code to go downstairs into Father's study, which we didn't have before. We have a cabin key. So, for those of you who missed the previous streams, our boyfriend, or Trisha's boyfriend, Scott Brooks, lives in the family cabin. He moved there in 1993, 2 years before Vivian was murdered. This looks like a cabin key, I guess because it has a cabin on top of it. And we're going to assume that that is to Scott's cabin. Okay, so let's remember that there is a box in this room and come back to look at it. Let's go to some of the other rooms on the second floor and see what we can't find out. Huh, it says need to place an item. I'm guessing maybe there's like a hidden compartment in this clock. We'll take a picture and come back. Again, no creepy women wearing black with black hair. In previous episodes of this game, we saw a creepy woman, you know, just somewhere around with long black hair and a black maid's outfit. So that was really creepy. She was just standing there in two different circumstances. Looks like we have Vivian Roberts' diary. So let's take a look of what was in Vivian's mind. And again, Vivian was the person who was murdered that we're here to investigate. So this is all the way back in 1972. Okay, so April 28th, 1972, Charles is running for election. I talked to Wilson and Edwards. They both agreed to support us. I don't think they are doing this to solely gain business benefits. Rather, they believe in Charles. Their support will help boost morale for our party. June 30th, 1972. It's our anniversary today. Charles invited me to my favorite restaurant. It was a complete surprise, and I was so happy. I thought he might have forgotten. After dinner, we spent the rest of the evening walking along the beach. We talked as if we were teenagers in love. I could not remember the last time I felt this carefree. Wednesday, August 9th, 1972. Magdalene is coming. What should I do? She always asking when we'll be having kids. I don't think I'm ready yet, not when I'm still recovering from the miscarriage. Okay, so now we know that perhaps the reason why Vivian didn't like Magdalene, who is Charles's mother, is due to pressure put on her for having children. And we can see here that Vivian did have a miscarriage. Friday, October 13th, 1972. Edwards called today and tried to push me in favor of a business agreement that we discussed months ago. I rejected his request since it will breach the trust agreement between our companies. I didn't expect him to threaten me by backing out from supporting Charles. If that'll happen, so be it. I would rather lose his support than make deals with people with no integrity. So it looks like she was having some issues with business deals. And other things were occurring too. We've got a key with some sort of exquisite design, or so it says. So let's throw that in our inventory for later. And nothing else there. And let's go to the rest of the room, which is over here. Also, welcome if you're just joining us for the first time. Please feel free to talk and chat. And if not, just join us in Discord or through normal talking. Whatever. You don't even have to talk. I talk plenty enough for everyone else. Oh, here we have some hate mail, apparently for Vivian. How does it feel to ruin the lives of many? Costed me my job, you heartless, which you don't deserve to live. Well, that's great. Let's take a picture of that. It seems I don't have a key for this desk. I guess we'll have to come back when we find one. Nelson and Brown investigation, Fillmore Road, Northfield, NL. February 17th, 1993. So this is 2 years prior to Vivian's death. Investigation on the Painscreek Community Hospital donation funds. Dear Mrs. Vivian Roberts, our latest investigation shows that Dr. Henry Johnson has been embezzling funds from the Roberts Relief Foundation. So maybe there's a cause for his death. So, rewinding a bit, Dr. Henry Johnson also has died. Hey, Zoobs. Nice to see you in. And my husband as well, Dram. Yes, thank you for joining in. So Henry Johnson was the doctor who was the head of Painscreek Community Hospital. It looks like he was embezzling funds into a private offshore account under the name of Jefferson Investments, LLC. So, life is strange, people. Mr. Jefferson? Anyways, for the payment of medical supplies and equipment. However, it was neither for medical equipment nor supplies. So, Henry Johnson was found dead in Local Creek. And his death was less than a month before Vivian's death. Also, of note, the hospital ends up closing February 20th, 1996, due to potential embezzlement being the cause of loss of funds. So definitely tied together somehow. Let's go ahead and take a picture of that too. Fun times. I think we've got everything in this room except for this cabinet, and then we'll go to the next room in the mansion, which I believe is Dorothy, the nanny's room. Yahtzee. So yes, this is Dorothy's room. Dorothy has worked for, I think, 32 years for the Roberts family. So she's been with them since, I think, before Charles and Vivian got married, I think. So we'll go in and take a look at what her room has to offer. Dear Charles, I have worked here for more than 20 years, and I am so glad that I was able to spend time here with everyone. I greatly appreciate the opportunities you gave me and the time I spent with Trisha. Trisha was everything to me, and she loved me. She smiled whenever I called her. I wish I could have given her more. Despite what was happened here in Painscreek, there are moments of pure joy that we've all shared together. I will hold on to these memories. I'm sorry that I'm leaving and won't be able to serve you anymore. Thank you for everything. Please take care of yourself. Sincerely, Dorothy. Dated January 1st, or 31st, 1996. So, Trisha died at the end of 1995. So I'm assuming that Dorothy felt very traumatized by her passing, and that was potentially why she quit working for the Roberts family. Also, with Trisha gone, she would not have a reason to stay with the family since she was Trisha's nanny. And from my understanding, there are no other children in the household other than potentially a bastard son named Vincent, which we'll get into later. Ooh, a diary. Let's go ahead and read this. September 23rd, 1994. I can't believe that Andrew tried to kill himself again. Thank God for Scott. I cannot imagine what would have happened if Scott wasn't there to save him. Andrew was never like this when Laura and Daniel were here. Even as his wife, I doubt Laura has any idea why Andrew turned out this way. I can't blame her for leaving him and taking their son. I wonder if they've contacted each other since then. Okay, so now we know that Andrew's wife, which, by the way, Andrew used to work for the Roberts household, and he was either killed or died or committed suicide sometime at the middle of 1995, roughly a month before Vivian's death. He died June 6th, and Vivian died on July 19th or July 20th of 1995. So Andrew, Henry, and Vivian all died within pretty much a month of one another. October 10th, 1994. I visited Andrew at the hospital today. He seemed different. He looked calm, as if he had somehow managed to find peace within himself. The attending nurse said Scott has been here almost every day, taking care of him and being with him. Andrew has been talking a lot with Scott. Andrew told me he's ready to see Laura and Daniel again. I'm glad to hear that. I should call Laura and tell her the good news. So this was around 9 months prior to Andrew's death. And Andrew was on some pretty strong antidepressants, which could cause all sorts of things, including ultraviolence and antegrade amnesia, which means it could make him forget events and not retain memory of events. So I'm assuming potentially he was put on a regimen of these antidepressants because of the incident at the end of September. That would make sense. February 13th, 1995. Scott came to fix my leaking sink today. He did a wonderful job. I offered him tea and we talked quite a bit, mostly about Charles and Vivian. I showed him my own old photo album. To my surprise, Scott became very quiet. He asked me if he could borrow one of the photographs. I don't see why not. He thanked me and left in a hurry. Oh, I should call Laura and tell her about Andrew's situation. June 19th, 1995. It's ironic that Andrew died shortly after being saved. I met Laura and Daniel at Andrew's funeral today. Daniel reminded me of Andrew. I can't believe he's already 15 years old. Last time I saw him, he was only 7. Laura and Andrew had been sending them money these last few years. She had been considering to return to Painscreek so they could be together again. If only I had called Laura before the fire accident. I feel so sorry for them. So, June 19th. Again, he died June 6th, and the funeral was June 19th. So, it's kind of interesting how everything happens so close to one another. Makes you have questions, and I do have questions, fam. I will tell you that. This game, there's definitely a lot of mysteries revolving around everything that's happening in this town. Lots of little things. Like, we were sent here just to solve Vivian's case, but there's lots of other stuff going on. This is another diary. I am also going to assume that it's Dorothy's. So let's go ahead and read this one. November 20th, 1972. Okay, so this is in the 70s. This would have been before Trishas' birth because she was born in 1974. And there's a newly hired maid named Sophia. Okay, so Sophia was a maid. A little bit of backstory. Sophia was mentioned to Andrew before he lost it and died in the fire. He started seeing things, having visions, hallucinations, flashbacks, and fits of anger around the time that the name was mentioned. The person who mentioned Sophia to Andrew was Scott. So Scott is an orphan, which, by the way, he died November 1st, 1995. So after he had been accused of killing Vivian and found not guilty, he died. I think Sophia, and this is just conjecture at this point, it's an assumption, may be Scott's mother. And I think that Sophia was the person whom Charles had an affair with, because we know that Charles had an affair. So, we're about to find some stuff out. I think Matthew recommended her, saying that she's his cousin. She's very pretty and has very good manners. Okay, so Father Matthew, which is Scott's adopted father, seems to be Sophia's cousin. So the plot thickens even more. She's a quick learner too and does whatever she's told to do. She's very eager, asking a lot on what she should do and how she should act when Charles and Vivian are present. How to be perfect at her job. I like her already. March 10th, 1973. The guys delivering food to the mansion were gawking at Sophia as if they've never seen a pretty girl before. I had to ask Sophia to go back into the house, otherwise someone might have funny ideas. Her uniform needs a little more cover. 1973, June 20th. Matthew sometimes comes over and checks to see if Sophia is doing okay. I tell him he's worrying too much, that Sophia is loved by all. Matthew seems pleased every time I say this. If I didn't know better, I think that Matthew liked her. September 24th, 1973. It rained heavily today. Sophia and I were having our tea break when she asked me, "What does it feel to be loved?" I said, well, it's like the feeling you get when you're with your parents. She was quiet for a moment, then replied, it's hard for me to imagine because I don't have parents. I didn't know what to say to her at the time, but after the break was over, I decided to make effort to care for her more. So, like Scott, Sophia was an orphan. So that's also interesting. Let's do a little bit more investigating. I'm going to see if I can't open this trunk and that door. And then we're going to open the attic and go to the study. And then we're going to, I think, try one of the house keys that we have for the servants. I can't open it. There never seems to be anything in any of the bathrooms. It's kind of funny. It's like they always fleshed out so well, and then there's nothing of any consequence in them. Well, that was easy. So now we've got this attic here to go and investigate. Ha ha! So it is something hidden in there. So there is a secret safe hidden in that clock in the tea room. Insert the clock key, set the time, turn the key. Tea time? So we know that tea time is at 3:20 sharp, by the way. So we can set that once we find whatever key goes into that area. Ha ha! Found the way into the garage. Okay, let's take a look through here. Oh, one more thing. We're supposed to be looking for a murder weapon or a potential murder weapon, so some things you can pick up and take pictures of, such as that gardening fork. Since we think that, potentially somebody who worked for the Roberts could be involved with that murder, that's why we decided to take a picture of that. think somebody was drinking on the job, just maybe. I mean, look at all these bottles. And, oh, just charcoal. Okay. Random journal. Let's go ahead and read it. Tuesday, September 21st, 1993. I didn't feel well today, had a nightmare last night. I cannot remember what it was like, but it was unnerving. I see Scott all the time now since he has started working at the mansion. He's always with Trisha. I used to be the one to hang out with Trisha. Friday, October 1st, 1993. Mom says she feels better these days. It's as if she forgot she even has cancer. I hope she recovers quickly. Mr. Johnson is a great man to help us out like this. Okay, so this, just judging from the fact that he says his mother has cancer, I'm assuming it's a he, because he's talking about wanting to be hanging out with Trisha and being jealous of Scott. This must be Derek, the chauffeur. He grew up with Trisha. Wanda, his mother, used to work for the family as the maid, but once, she got ill, she had to resign from that position. Derek became the chauffeur at that point in time, and Mary Martinez was hired on as the maid in her stead until Wanda could get better. Okay. But we do know that Wanda dies in 1996. From cancer, I would assume. Monday, November 8th. Trisha talked to me today. She said Scott is busy recently and she feels lonely. I would never make her feel that way. I cannot say it to her, but I will be there whenever she needs me. We talked a lot. I wish every day would be like today. February 14th. Today, Scott came and asked if I know anything about Father Calvin. I only knew him as the previous church pastor before Father Matthew took over. I told Scott to ask Matthew about it. Scott didn't say anything and left. Looks like they aren't getting along too well. So, Father Calvin was the previous church pastor, obviously succeeded by Father Matthew. Scott was Father Matthew's adopted son. Sophia is Father Matthew's cousin. I think Scott is Sophia's son and Charles's son. But, besides that point, I think what's happening here is that Father Calvin may have had something to do with the whole him ending up being adopted thing. Well, I guess that's all there is to explore in here, except for this middle cart. Let me see if there's anything that I can open on it. It would appear not. Okay, so what else do we have to explore internal to the mansion? Let me take a look here. On the second floor, we've been in Trish's room, the balcony, the tea room, the bar, that balcony. I still can't get into the guest room, but I have been in the maid room and bathroom, the exercise room, Dorothy's room, security, and the attic. So the only room I still can't get into is the guest room, which I do not have a key for. And then I don't have the map for the bottom floor because I don't know where it's at. But I know that there is a study underneath this balcony, so I am going to try to go and investigate that since now we have a code for it. Oh, also, fam, there is a hidden door somewhere, like a hidden room somewhere in the mansion. I have no clue where it's at. I just know that it exists. There was mention of it in one of the journals that we saw in a previous stream that I did of either I don't know, this weekend stream or the one from last week. Ooh, fancy. I can now open this. So, is there any comments or ideas what we could find here? Let's find out. Apparently, I need a book, a medical and health encyclopedia book. So I guess we need to be on the lookout for one of those. I'm going to guess the secret room is behind those two, and that the way to open it is with that book. Ooh, a combination lock. I don't have a combination for it, but I think we could probably come back. Yes, Zoobs, we're going to find murder here. It's exactly what we're going to find. Oh, here we go. Painscreek Community Hospital, Vivian Roberts Medical Report. Dear Charles Roberts, Vivian's situation is currently stabilized. She has accepted the fact that she cannot conceive anymore. Oh, okay. However, she needs time to fully recover and a 6-month rehabilitation is necessary. Your presence at the hospital has been noted to upset her. This only helps prolong her recovery. I am suggesting that you try and refrain from visiting your wife until she is in a better state to receive you. Your mother's desire for a boy to be an heir to your family has caused tremendous strain on her. Please consider addressing this issue with your mother. Painscreek Community Hospital regards a patient's recovery as the highest priority. Our staff will do their very best to help Vivian. I apologize for any inconvenience this may cause you. Dr. Henry Johnson, August 16th, 1974. So, we know that Vivian had some sort of medical emergency shortly after Trisha was born. Trisha was born in July of 1974. So I'm going to assume that something happened, post-pregnancy that caused her to no longer be able to conceive. I am also going to guess that this is what led to Magdalene and hers constant strife with one another, because we know from Charles's journals that Vivian did not want to go with him to visit his mother's grave, which her death anniversary was August 27th, 1974. So, just a few days after the 1-year anniversary of this medical report to Charles. And the other thing, not only was Charles having an affair, who I think was with Sophia, she would have been the maid right around this time. And I think that Magdalene uncovered something, because she came to the security room, because we have a note from one of the ledgers, looking for a tape from June 28th, 1975. I know for a fact that Scott was born June 1st, 1975, because it was on his tombstone. So, with that said, I'm going to say Vivian killed Sophia with the help of Andrew and Henry. And Magdalene found out, Vivian killed her, and that's why she didn't want to go to Charles's, every year anniversary of his mother's death to visit the grave. Again, just speculation, reading into things, but it's an interesting storyline to write a book about. Oh, we have some more chess pieces here. So, we found 2 chess pieces in the shed. So this is a knight 5 and a pawn 2. Okay. One second, let me see if I have pictures of the other ones. Oh, goodness. I do not. Let me check my notes, and we'll see if we can find out anything. Okay, fam. Let's see here. Okay, so the chess pieces from the shed out back, which was Trisha and Scott's hiding place, is the white queen with the number 1 and a white rook with the number 7. So if I were to put these on a chessboard, let's see. Okay, so the queen is 1, the knight is 5, the rook was 7, the pawn is 2. So 1, 5, 7, 2, maybe? Well, let's try that. See what happens, I guess. Just double check these. Oh, hey, it's a book. We're going to store that in our inventory. We're going to find out where that goes. Well, that didn't work for that. Okay. So, 1, 5, 7, 2 are our numbers. We just got to figure out what order they go in, right? So let's look around and see if there's anything that we can find to help us out. Hey, we just found the downstairs floor plan. So where have we been? Okay, we've been in the dining room. We cannot get into the wine cellar. It's locked. We have been to the family room, the patio, the library, the study room, and here's our hidden room right beside the study room. We have been in the laundry room and the garage. I have not been in whatever room this is. And I have not been into... Or, no, this is the kitchen. I have been in the kitchen. At least I think that's the kitchen. I have not been in the master bedroom. I do know that there is stuff in it because I found a journal entry saying that somebody used to peek in from outside and got in trouble. And I went and peeked in through the window and there's a key laying like right here, but I can't get into it because it's locked. And then I have been in the gallery room, but I didn't see a door there. Maybe I just missed it. And there was another journal that mentioned a, like, portrait of a woman. So let's take a look around and see what we can't find. Four right, 6 left, 3 right. One second. Let me take a picture of this. Let's try to remember that, okay? 4 right, 6 left, 3 right. Well, that didn't work. I did it backwards. That's why it didn't work. Okay, so now we've got this hidden room. Oh goodness. Magdalene Roberts, mother of Charles, dies at age 68. Hospital reports heart attack as main cause of death. Magdalene Roberts passed away last night at the age of 68. She was visiting her son, Charles Roberts, in Painscreek when her heart failed. Dorothy Patterson, a maid working at the mansion, knocked on Magdalene's door at 7 a.m. There was no answer. She assumed Magdalene was still sleeping. It was only 2 hours later, when Magdalene still did not respond to her knocking, that she realized something was wrong. She called Bernard Hopkins, the mansion butler, who came and opened the room to find Magdalene lying on the bed. She wasn't breathing. He immediately called 911. Dr. Johnson, the family doctor and head of Painscreek Community Hospital, arrived at the mansion at around 9:30 a.m. and pronounced Magdalene Roberts dead. According to Dr. Johnson, Magdalene Roberts probably had a heart attack sometime in the middle of the night. More accurate diagnoses are yet to be determined, but Magdalene's death was most probably the result of high blood pressure and old age. 8/27/1975. I am going to hazard a guess that Vivian killed her and Henry Johnson covered it up. That's my guess. Again, total conjecture, but I don't care. We'll see. Ooh, more journals from Charles Roberts. Okay, May 3rd, 1974. Vivian hasn't spoken much since she was discharged from the hospital. Dr. Johnson said she is fully healed, but it will take some time for her to adjust back to her old rhythm. I feel our relationship is deteriorating or has suffered permanently in some way. June 17th, 1974. I love Trisha, and I know Vivian does too. I can only hope that my mother's passion for her grandson will not affect Vivian's love for Trisha. I hope that she does not hold any resentment towards Mother. Oh, she did. She totally did. Okay, June 11th, 1974. Our baby daughter is born today. We've named her Trisha. Vivian had to go through a cesarean section. I'm just glad that both mother and child are safe, and I thank God for that. I feel so happy to have a baby in the family. There's no words to express the joy I'm feeling inside. At the same time, I am worried of what mother might say once she knows the baby is a girl. August 16th, 1974. Vivian is being hospitalized for the second time in a year. The first time was for the C-section, this time for mental instability. Dr. Johnson told me not to visit her until she is stabilized and ready to receive me. What can I do? Mom wants a boy, but it's not safe for Vivian to be pregnant anymore. Sometimes I feel lost, not knowing what to do. Mostly, I just feel lonely. November 16th, 1974. I never thought this would happen. Whenever Sophia is babysitting Trisha, she would listen to everything I have to say. I could express myself candidly. Never once did she question the decisions I made. It made me feel like she understands me. I found comfort in her, both spiritually and physically. I just never thought I would have a relationship with her. What should I do now? So, now we know for sure, Sophia is the person who Charles Roberts had the affair with. In July 6, 1975. I have a name for our child. He will be called Vincent Roberts. I will add him to my will. Sophia seems to be hiding as well as she can from Vivian. Even I have not seen her in these last 2 days. I wonder where she could be. Okay, so yes, Sophia did get pregnant. Sophia did have child, and they called it Vincent Roberts. And then Sophia went missing. Well, that's not sketch at all. Oh, yep. So this picture is of Sophia. There is a picture that we got from Stephen Moss, the private investigator who apparently was sent to investigate these murders, from the car that was sitting locked outside of the Inn and Suites with this picture, and it said the answer lies with her, and it was a picture of Sophia. It didn't say Sophia's name on it, it just said the answer lies with her. Let me see if I can't find that. Or secret lies with her, see? And it's Sophia. Secret lies with her. Now, what's really going to trip you out, if you have not seen the previous streams, this creepy woman was seen in multiple places throughout the playthrough. I walked out of Andrew's house, where, by the way, he was doing some sort of, like, crazy cultist shit, as you can see. Walked out of his house, which this was scrawled on the wall, "She's coming for us." And upon exiting his house, there was Sophia. Or at least I assume it was Sophia, the ghost of Sophia. So, crazy shit is afoot. This town has way more secrets than what's they're letting on. But we'll take it in stride and go from there. June 16th, 1975. Dear Charles, I received a letter from Dorothy yesterday. She told me everything. What have you done, my son? Does Vivian know? Have you even considered the consequences of your actions? And what of this Sophia? What will you do with her? You made a mistake. You'll need to take responsibility for what you have done. Do you understand? You cannot take her as your wife. You already have one. This scandal cannot be publicly known. It will destroy your political career. However, the child is important. He is your flesh and blood and might be the son you need to properly continue the family. I am now preparing to visit you. Do not say anything to Vivian yet. I will take care of it when I arrive. So Magdalene apparently was kind of incensed with Charles's decision to have an affair and get somebody pregnant. Yeah, that's about it. That's all that's in this room. Okay. Thoroughly investigated. Let me go behind the door just to make sure, and then we'll move on to the next area. I seriously thought this would be a bigger room. I don't know why. Huh. Interesting. So I still don't know the entry code for this desk. So remember that. We have 2 locked areas upstairs that we still can't get into. We're still missing the key for room 201. We're still missing the key for Oliver's photography. And where else are we missing a code? Oh, we're missing a code for something else that I cannot remember. But we do have the chess pieces, 1275. I don't know if that's anything, I don't know. Maybe we can find out. You know, I could probably also try somebody's birthday here. Let's see. Let's try 0674. No. June 11th. Okay, so 0611 maybe? Wasn't that? Let's try... Oh, what was it? July 1st? Maybe? One sec. June 1st. I am not sure that coincides very well. One sec. I say June 1st. Let me look back at the journal entry for Charles. July 6th. So maybe July 1st is really when he was born? Let's try a couple of things. Nope. Okay. So, that didn't work either. We'll just come back to this because we do not know what the code is. Okay, I still don't have a way into the master bedroom, and we need to investigate something in the gallery room, and then I think we can probably go to one of the other houses and do some investigation. Oh, we have the key to the master bedroom. Let's go in here first. I think this is the little key for that clock safe. So I'm going to store that and then go back up there after this. Oh, some interesting stuff. Another diary of Vivian Roberts. Monday, January 2nd, 1994. Andrew came and told me he didn't need an assistant. He said Scott is too inexperienced and is a burden to him. What he hasn't realized is that the garden has not been maintained well over the past few months, that his drunk behavior is irritating, and that Scott is actually doing more work than he is. Scott is a fast learner. He should be up to speed in no time. Charles was the one who insisted on hiring him anyways. Charles likes the boy. They've been hunting together quite a number of times, and Charles always seems happy with his company. I just don't understand his love for hunting. He sometimes spends more time in his hunting cabin than he does at home. Tuesday, January 3rd, 1994. I was shocked to learn that Scott has been asking around about Sophia. How did he know about Sophia? Who could have told him? It must have been Andrew, that drunk. I told him Sophia is gone. Those hallucinations of his are getting worse. He needs to see Henry and get more pills. I'd need to have Bernard keep an eye on Scott from now on. I'll try and see who he talks to, who he asks. So, again, we see another correlation to Vivian potentially being in cahoots with Andrew and the doctor to kill Sophia to get rid of her. I think. Friday, April the 8th, 1994. I called Oliver and asked if he would be the main photographer for the Easter fundraising event. When he asked what the funds will be used for, I told him it'll be used to raise awareness of Painscreek, to promote our town's tourism. After listening, he agreed to help. When asked how much he would charge, he said simply, "It'll be free." I was surprised. I appreciate his contribution for his town. Tuesday, April 12th, 1994. Our deal with Howard Medical came through. Just as anticipated, instead of being happy, I feel empty. Am I getting numb from work, or is it that I don't care anymore? Saturday, May 14th, 1994. Our dinner tonight was quiet. Charles didn't eat much. He asked me about my day, but I didn't want to talk about it. As a matter of fact, I don't want to talk to him much these days. Trisha was silent as well. She distancing herself from me. I can feel it. She used to confide in me about everything. Now we hardly talk. Is stopping her from seeing Scott wrong? Oh yeah, by the way. Charles likes Scott. Vivian didn't. So Vivian's been trying to prevent Scott and Trisha from dating. I don't think that Vivian knows that Scott is Charles' son, or at least this is an assumption. I don't know if it's true anymore. We'll find out. Wednesday, July 6, 1994. I don't want Trisha to be near Scott anymore. Of all the men in the world, why would Trisha pick him? This is unacceptable. Sounds like a Karen, but we'll see. Apparently she was well respected. Oh yeah, let me take a picture. And we'll be on our way to investigate the rest of this room. Hey, it's the key for room 201. When we couldn't find Stephen before, he came in April to investigate Vivian's murder, so I'm going to guess he just dropped it when he was in here investigating. Of course it's locked. But let me check my inventory and see what keys I've got. So I've got Bernard's key, Dorothy's key, the cabin key, the key to the safe, and key to room 201. Okay, we're looking for, according to Charles's journal, which let me pull up, or not Charles, Mary's journal. We are looking for a photo of a woman, or a painting of a woman. Let's see. Was it 1985? Okay, so he was leaving the gallery. She hid in the staircase hallway, and when she was sure that he was gone, went into the gallery to see what he was so entranced by, and it was a painting of an old woman with a white headband. She heard a click. I am going to guess that there's something behind this painting. Let's go try to find it. So, old woman with a white headband. Well, that's a woman with a white headband. Okay, so 6 digits. Let's try your birthday. 06 11 74. Nope. 08 27 75. Nope. There's gotta be some code. One sec. Let me look at my notes and we shall go from there. So, I have some numbers written down. I have no clue where I got them, but let's try them out and see. That would be a negative. Well, let's see some different numbers. You know, I don't rightfully know what the number to this one is either. Quite a few combinations, and I haven't figured them out, so we'll have to come back and try in a bit. But first I'm going to go upstairs and see if I can't, one, figure out how to get into the guest room, two, try to get into that little safe. Ooh, a letter from Henry Johnson on June 18th, 1975. Dear Vivian, I am not writing to you as your doctor, but as a friend. I know you had your suspicions about Charles. Now that his affair is revealed, there is no point in beating around the bush. If you want to protect yourself and Trisha, there's only one way. You have to make Sophia and the baby leave Charles. They need to be moved away from Painscreek. You will, of course, have to compensate for her leaving. As for Charles, he will need to know that having his affair publicly known will destroy his political status. People are not so forgiving when the mayor they trust is involved in such a scandal. I figure that Charles will try to add the child into the family registry. I would do the same if I were him. It is a boy, after all, and the child will be able to continue the family line. If that should happen, I cannot imagine what will happen to you. Henry Johnson. Vivian, I have given careful thought to your request, and here's my answer. I have provided a new prescription for your mother-in-law, Magdalene. It is 3 times the strength of her usual dosage. Detailed instructions will be sent with the medicine. Should you decide to do it, you will need to administer the medicine carefully so no one suspects anything. Call me if you have any questions. Henry Johnson. P.S. Make sure no one else in the mansion ingests any of it. Well then, so Vivian did kill Magdalene. That's great. You ever wonder what goes through people's heads, like rich people and the like? Just all sorts of crazy shit. Okay. So, I have some information there. I'm gonna guess maybe, just maybe, somebody found out, I don't know, that she killed Magdalene. I think she killed Sophia too, but I'm not sure. So let's go to some of these other places and see if we can't figure out something. I still think like the 1275 has something to do with that thing downstairs. Let's try a couple of different combinations and see if we can't get in, and if we can't, then we'll go to the other houses. So, none of that seems to work. Let's try a few different combinations. If this doesn't work, we'll just come back. Okay, so we'll just come back to that. So, for all 2 of my people who are still watching, what should I do first? Should I go to Bernard's house or Dorothy's house? So that's either on Silver Lake or on Black Pine. Since we're already on Silver Lake Boulevard, let's go ahead to Bernard's house. I believe that was 37. Let me check the journal information. Let's see. Other? No, it's not that. There we go. Mansion worker list. It is 31 Silver Lake Drive. So it's counting down this way. I'm going to assume like there's this little like cut over here that has something to do with that area. Well, that looks like a 31. So this is Bernard's house. He is the butler for the family. So we're going to investigate here and then see what we can find. Sure got a lot of guns. Okay, so we have a broken case with axes in it and a missing knife, and nobody's touched the guns. So I'm going to assume that had something to do with somebody's missing or death. We'll find out. It's a dartboard, y'all. Okay, so earlier in the stream... Oh, hey, Noah. What's up? Oh, hey. New people. Nice to see you. So earlier in a previous stream, we uncovered some information about how to score darts. I thought, well, this is kind of funny that this would just be hanging around unless it's going to be useful for something. So I took a picture of it. Sure enough, it looks like it's going to be very useful. Not sure, but we'll find out. Considering there's a dartboard here. There's a dart on the ground, so I'm going to assume it was leading us to this. We'll find out in a second. Blood-stained wood panel. Need a tool to pry up the nails. I don't know if I have anything to do that. Well, that won't work. Okay. That won't work either. Okay, so we're going to have to find some sort of tool to pry up that board. Let's take a picture of it. For those that don't know... Oh, hey, Dead Cat, what's up? So, for those that don't know, this stream is entirely about figuring out who murdered Vivian Roberts. However, there's also some other things that are going on that are kind of shady. So, let's see what happens. Right? Who done it? I have no clue. Well, we're going to find out. So this is Bernard Hopkins' journal. January 3rd, 1994. 2 weeks ago, Scott came to me and asked about Sophia. I was surprised he knew about someone who used to work here 20 years ago. I told him that she was once a maid that worked here, but after a few years she decided to leave the village. Today I commented about the conversation to Vivian. She asked if Scott had said anything or asked anything else since then. I could see she felt uneasy. She told me to keep an eye on him. I find all of this very unsettling. So, first off, I think Bernard has a thing for Vivian because there was like a book downstairs like proudly on display that was Vivian's, and he has worked probably second longest for the Roberts family. He's worked there for over 20 years. January 19th, 1994. Derek didn't seem too willing to drive for Vivian. I don't think a 5-day trip is that long. Charles often had trips longer than that, and Derek never seemed to mind them. Now that I think about it, Derek is unusually quiet when Vivian is around. He doesn't even look at her. It's like he's avoiding her. I wonder why. February 20th, 1994. I've noticed Vivian has been getting increasingly paranoid when she sees Scott, to the point of being upset by his presence. She asked Charles to have someone replace Scott, but Charles kept him. He likes the boy. Maybe those hunting trips really bonded them. So, for clarity, Charles has written in his diary that he enjoyed taking Scott hunting and has done so several times. In fact, maybe even liked taking him hunting more than taking Bernard hunting. So maybe Bernard's feeling a little salty. I don't know. We'll find out. March 2nd, 1994. It's Dad's death anniversary today. Can't believe it's already been more than 2 decades. I visited his grave in the morning. His tombstone is full of fallen leaves. Looks like autumn has started. Mom's tombstone is covered with leaves too. I read today's newspaper and updated him on the things that had happened here recently. As I sat there talking, I wondered if he could hear me. Will I just spend the rest of my life serving Charles and Vivian until I die? What will people remember me for? So, this is almost kind of hinting that possibly his father was involved in this huge loss of life event that happened in the town back in 1973. So, March 2nd and 3rd, 1973, there was a large loss of life event between this town and 2 others for the Roberts Mining Company. And what it was is they were doing some sort of mine demolition task and something went wrong and over 13 people lost their lives. There was a commemorative service for it at the Painscreek Trinity Church. And it seems here that if March 2nd was the date of his father's death anniversary, potentially his father was involved with that. April 29th, 1994. I saw Scott and Trisha today. They looked happy. I almost envy them. I think my chance at ever having a relationship with someone is over. What would my life be if I had accepted Angela? I don't think we would have been happy. She wasn't my type anyhow. Who is my type then? Vivian. I don't know. Okay, so yes, he definitely had a thing for Vivian. I'm just saying. Okay, so now that we know that. Ooh, what is this? AOL password! Well, I'm taking a picture of that. I want to know what the AOL password is. Study room locked desk hint. Subtract the yellow dart points from the red dart points. Ha! Ha! I knew it was important. Aunt Cecilia's apartment code 447206. Yeah, that man is definitely having an existential crisis, Dead Cat. Totally. Let's see. Anything in the top drawer? No. Was there anything in the bottom drawer? No. Okay, let's look at the other side. There's a stapler. It's not red, though. How is everybody doing? I know, Didcat, you said you had, homework, but other than homework, how are things? Things going well? Okay. Scoring. So we know the singles, doubles, double ring, outer ring, inner bullseye ring, etc. So we're subtracting the yellow from the red? Oh, there's leftover cheesecake. Hell yeah. And yes, I miss snow as well. Subtract yellow darts from red darts. Okay, so I've got red darts. That's 50 and a triple 20, I think is what that is. Let me... Yep, 20. Okay, so that's 70, and the yellow darts are 7 and 2. So 9 from 70, that's 61. But what does that have to do with anything? Let's see. Oh. Subtract yellow darts points from the red darts total. Oh, it's triple 20. Sorry. So that would be 170 minus 9. So 161. So 0, 161. Maybe I'm not counting right. Oh, you had some of Zuby's beer that he left there? What kind of beer was it? Am I doing this right? Okay, so inner bullseye is 50. Triple 20 would be what? Okay, yeah, I'm way off. Okay, so triple 20 would be 20, 40, 60 plus 50. That would be 110 minus 9, so it would be 101. So 0101. I was off by 60. I don't know where my head is at. No. Okay, so let's do this then. Let's subtract 110 from 501. This is getting convoluted. I need a calculator. Okay, maybe it's 391? Maybe it's just 101 here. That's 0. No! Okay. I must not be doing something right, guys. It's okay, Noah. You can go ahead and lurk. I am trying to figure out what this code is supposed to be. Because it's like, oh hey, subtract the yellow darts points from the red darts total. Okay. So red darts total 110. Yellow darts are 9. So if I subtract 9 from 110, it should be 101. That doesn't work. Oh, let's look at my scoring rules. Oh, that's not one. That. Okay. So, singles, doubles, outer, inner, triple. Okay, so 60 plus 50 is 110. Standard variation of the game. Players must start and finish with a double scoring dart. Player's start score value is set at 501. Aim is to finish the game with as low score as possible. Scoring a double on the last dart thrown will make the player's score 0. Players thrown 3 darts, their score is added up, and the total is then subtracted from the original 501 amount to create the final value. Okay, so if I go by that, is that what it's talking about? Or is it just talking about like the score in general? Because it's not 101. Okay, so it's 501 minus 110. Let's do that calculation. Hit 391. And subtract 9 from it, so that'd be 382. Maybe it's that. So 0382. Let's try it. No. I don't know what it is. There is a red dart laying on the ground over there. Let me re-inspect that. Is there anything else of interest before I go over there? You know, I think that was supposed to be in 6. So it looked like the tip was missing, and it looks like there's this little black dot there. So if that's the case, it would be 166 minus 9. Okay, so that would be no, not 166. Jesus. 116 minus 9, which would put me at, sorry, math hard. $107. Okay. Right? What's math? Psh, who cares about math? That doesn't work either. Drats. Almost thought about taking crypto next term and decided so. Yeah, that is much of a pain. I will admit that crypto does not sound like a super amount of fun. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. Like, at the same time. Maybe it wasn't 6. Maybe I am delusional. Let's go back over here and see if we can't figure something out. So there was that red dart there, right? So it looked like it got broken off. There's a dot on 13 and there's a dot on 6. So maybe 6 was the red herring. Maybe it was 13. So let's say it was 123 minus 9, right? Too much sound lectures. Yeah, lectures are a pain in the butt, and Udemy courses are nice, but like I don't know. I don't get like a lot of what do you call it? Mileage from Udemy courses typically. Okay, so what did I say? It's 123 minus 9, so that would be 112. So let's try that. No, that didn't work either. Yeah, a lot of them do lack substance. Let's try this. No. What is wrong with me? Why can't I get this? It's like, it says to take the red darts and subtract them, or the yellow darts and subtract them from the red darts. I mean, there's also like a little dot on 7, and there's also a little dot on 18. So I'm like, are those where the dart was? I don't know. Oh, if it was on 13, it would be 123. If it was on 18, it would be 128. 128 minus 9 would be, what, 111, right? I am losing track of everything. Doritos! And cheese. Dorito cheese? Stinky cheese? Oh. Let's see. Oh, 114, not 112. I swear, I am, like, not all here. This is what, you know, working in tech will do to you all. I'm just saying. Make you go crazy. I feel like this is an escape room and I'm just, like, spinning my wheels. Let's see. Let's see. 19. That doesn't work either. So I am just going to give up on this puzzle for now and come back later. It says specifically, study room lock desk hint. Oh, maybe it's the other room. Like the study room back in the Roberts mansion. Oh, you know, that could be for sure. So let's try 101 and 114 when we go back to that room. Let's go ahead and do that now since we got some information and like I need to figure out how to pry this board up anyways. And this is still locked. So back to the Roberts Mansion study. This is feeling so much like a escape room where it's like, oh, yep, let me find something and then go back to here and then come back. So one of the interesting things about this game, so where it's like hinted at a lot of different things and you have to make a lot of assumptions because it doesn't hold your hand again at all. It's given me quite a bit to think about. I'm like, you know, what is life? Why do these things happen? It's like these 3 people get murdered. It's like innocuous. You think nothing of it or die. And you're like, oh, is it all related? Maybe it is. I don't know. The escape room was fun. That was a lot of fun. One. Oh, that doesn't work. Let's see. 110 minus 9 would be 101. If it's 123 minus 9, it would be 114. If it is 128, it would be 119, right? Let's try that. No, it did not work. Okay, well, I guess let's move to Dorothy's house and then we'll go from there. And that was on Black Pine. And her house number was 40 Black Pine. So there is like this little shortcut over here that I am going to go down to make my way to Black Pine. I found it when I was doing my initial investigation of the area, and I was like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. Okay, so this is Dorothy's, right? You heard Ruby shaking in the background? She does make noise. She likes to shake her collar and like jingle jangle. Okay, let's see. So this is Dorothy the nanny's house, and let's investigate and see what we can find here. So it looks like Dorothy was going to go to a home for older people. I was gonna look up hints and realize this game is called. Yeah, this game is like super complex. Like, there's like all sorts of crazy crap going on. I don't know if you saw the mind map that I had, Dead Cat, but it was super complicated. I'm like, what even is this? In fact, let me see if I can share that on stream real quick, because I haven't updated it and I haven't really been taking notes this playthrough. But let me see if I can share that real quick for the stream. Give me just a second. I can't share it like that, so I guess I'm gonna have to share it a different way. One sec. Here we go. Okay, so can you see this crazy thing here? This is the mind map that I made of all the stuff that I found so far, not counting this current playthrough, like an hour and 50 something. Right. So, let's start with like Vivian Roberts. Like, this is where I started. And it's like, oh, here's the case information. Body was discovered by Mary Martinez at 7:15 a.m. Time of death was between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. And literally, it's like this much information for everything. You're like, oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that's my push to talk, so you can just ignore that because push to talk issues. I decided that it would be easier than having to mute and unmute every time, but I guess that's not really true. So yeah, just lots and lots of information. Let's move back to the game and we'll continue playing from there. So I am going to guess that the image on this fridge that you're about to see is Dorothy and Trisha. I know, it is really funny, isn't it? It's like, that's a lot of data. Because Trisha and Dorothy were really close. So I'm actually just going to take a picture of that. Boop. I still feel sad that you can't open the fridges. Like, I'm sure they would smell after being closed since, like, 96 or whenever this town stopped being, lived in town. But it's being auctioned and it's, like, 1999 in the timeline that we're in. Scriptures by Reverend Keith. So I don't know who Reverend Keith is. But yeah. I'm guessing he would be like Calvin Keith, the original pastor. I don't know. Guess we'll find out. Ooh, another diary from Dorothy. February 2nd, 1975. Charles asked something of me today. He asked if I'd be willing to stay with Sophia, that he'd arranged to have a house rented out a little ways from the mansion. I told him that I would help, but that Sophia's pregnancy will eventually show. There's no way of hiding it. He seemed very worried. February 6th, 1975. Charles came up to me and expressed his gratitude for taking care of Sophia. He said he'll be covering all the necessary expenses, and he told me not to tell anyone about it. As far as Sophia's growing belly, when the time comes, I am to make up something about her running errands outside of Painscreek. I'm not sure if that will work. April 6, 1975. Sophia is 8 months into her pregnancy. Her belly is big now. I asked her how she felt, and she told me that she's happy. It feels hopeful for the future. She said it would be best if the baby was a boy. I can understand why she's thinking that way, but I can't help but wonder how Vivian will feel about it all. What will the ramifications of this be? So we know that 1. Magdalene knew about the pregnancy. 2. Vivian knew about the pregnancy. 3. Vivian killed Magdalene. She could have killed Sophia. We'll find out. Lots of locked doors, even though I've like unlocked the houses. It's like, who locks like rooms inside of their house? I don't know. Not much to go off of here in Sophia's house. So, I mean, not Sophia, but Dorothy's house. I think I am going to go check out the cabin. Scott's cabin is over there on the other side of the, goodness, playground. So we'll go and check that out super quick. Actually, let's check out these grounds real quick and then head over. Also locked. Well, that's just lovely. Right? I mean, dead bodies are definitely the best thing to hide in the bushes. Okay, so this is 4 Pebble Lane. It looks like it does have a keyhole, but can't be unlocked. Maybe I just don't have the key for it yet. But there was a missing persons, and it was like a 13-year-old kid, and he was last seen at that house before he went missing. So we'll try to check it out, I guess, in a little bit. I wanted to see if I could see a bird in there, but there's no bird. It's another locked box. Well, rats. Oh, it's a combination. I wonder if 1, 2, 7, 5. Nope. Okay, well, we'll have to figure that out. Yet another locked thing with a combination, right? Am I right? Okay, so this is Scott's hunting lodge, apparently. So let's take a look and see if we can't find anything around it, and then we'll actually try to go inside. Okay, so here's a well. And according to the last letter, which was given to Vivian. Let's see if I have it on me. So it gets us in this one. This was the last thing sent to Vivian before she was murdered. Like, it was sent to her on the day she was murdered. I know what you did. Meet me by the well at midnight. You know which one. Come alone. Well, this is the only well I've found in town so far. I'm sure there's other ones, but sure suspicious as shit to have a well outside of where Scott was living. Yeah. Interesting. Let's see if we can't find something else out. I have not listened to S-Town. Is it like a spooky podcast? Okay, so this is Scott Brooks' cabin. He is the main suspect in Vivian Roberts' murder. Gotta love that Chlor-X bleach. Kinda eerie. Nice. And all real? That's pretty cool. I'll definitely have to check that out. I'm not, like, super big on podcasts, but some of them are pretty interesting. Okay, so there's Chlor-X bleach and there's Chlor-X flour. Flower, not Flour. Okay, so doesn't look like there's anything else in this tiny little kitchen area. Let's move on. Master Carpentry, illustrated by Daniel Jackson. So, one thing about hiding things in plain sight. Okay, so the, like, pastor, Matthew Brooks, who is Scott Brooks' adopted father, who is Sophia's cousin, so ipso facto, I think it's technically that Father Matthews is Scott's second cousin, if Scott actually is Vincent, is that he was into carpentry and hiding things in plain sight. So maybe there's something hidden here in plain sight, and that is our mark to look for it. It's a key. Maybe to the church, because it's got a cross on it. I'm just going to assume. Didn't mean to close it. Meant to pick that up. This is a chest box. The chest box is also in the church. So we'll have to go there. Ooh, another one of Scott's diaries. Let's read this one. Sunday, February 14th, 1993. Today is Valentine's Day. I wanted to spend the day with Trisha, but Charles invited me to go hunting. I was nervous, not because it's my first time hunting, but because it's with Trisha's dad. Turned out, I actually enjoyed being with him. I feel comfortable talking to him. June 18th, 1993. I don't get it. Why would Father Matthew forbid me to be with Trisha? Is it because I'm not rich? Or because I'm an orphan? He didn't explain anything to me. Maybe he doesn't love me anymore. I feel so confused. Now, a little bit of backstory. He would have been like... He was born in 75. This is 93. So 19... 18? Something like that? 18. Yeah. Tuesday, June 22nd, 93. We quarreled again today. I couldn't stand Father Matthew's preaching attitude, so I yelled back at him. I knew I shouldn't have done that, but I'm so frustrated. Father Matthew said I'm not an orphan. What does that mean? Does he know who my parents are? I pressed him to keep talking, but he wouldn't tell me anything after that. I need to know more. So, Father Matthew knew he wasn't an orphan, quote unquote. I think Charles is his father. Saturday, July 31st, 1993. In these past weeks, it has become more difficult for me to talk to Father Matthew. Whenever we speak, he addresses only church stuff. I've realized that I'm starting to avoid him. Whenever he asks me how my day was, I don't feel like answering him. When I ask him about my past, he's always trying to change the subject. I feel so frustrated. September 2nd, 1993. I've moved out of the church. Father Matthew did not object, although he looked a bit sad. Mr. Roberts was kind enough to let me stay at his cabin, and I am willing to work for him as an assistant gardener. That way, the mansion garden can still be well maintained even when Andrew cannot make it. November 3rd, 1993. It's been a month since Charles gave me this cabin to stay. I still don't know where to start my investigation. Andrew has been drinking. Bernard asked me to bring him home today. Whenever he's drunk, he accuses himself, saying that he's a sinner. Sometimes he would mutter names that I've never heard of. Of all the names, I think I only recognized Magdalene. I just can't remember where I heard that name before. Sunday, November 7th. I just returned from the orphanage and found out that it was Father Calvin who brought me there. The record sheet stated that I was from Painscreek. How? If I was born in Painscreek, there must be records of me in the hospital, but I've checked. There's none. Thursday, November 16th. I broke into Father Matthew's bedroom today. I shouldn't have done that, but he might have had something that could tell me about my birth parents. He didn't have anything relevant. November 20th. Andrew's drunk again. This is the 5th time I've had to bring him home and then cover his shift. It's getting quite annoying. As I laid him down on his bed, he muttered repeatedly, "I'm so sorry, Sophia." Who's Sophia? So at this point, in 93, Scott did not know who Sophia was. So I'm guessing he heard it from Andrew and then prodded Andrew to give him more information about it. Interesting. Why does everybody seem to have old empty pill bottles in their cabinet? Is it story where I am? No, but it is a little windy, and we just had the landscapers out today. So they supposedly got rid of all the leaves. We'll see what happens. Oh, this is locked. Do I have a key for that? Let's try this one. Nope. Let's try the Slim Jim. Nope. Doesn't work. Okay, so I'm gonna have to come back to this store too. Man, there's a lot of dead ends. Oh, goodness. I still think there's some, like, hidden something in here. Because when I was reading one of the diaries, it mentioned a potential hidden room in here. And there's only one door to what I assume is the bedroom. If that. I don't know. Maybe a room closet. I don't know how to get in there, but maybe there's something at the church that can help. And then we'll come back. Oh, you know what? We've got the key to 201 in the Inn and Suites. Let's go there first and then the church, since that's closer. Finally, we get to enter Stephen Moss's rented room. So we know he was behind on the rent due to this late notice down here that you can see. As a 4-4, he was late on the rent. So, but it looks like he never got a chance to check out because the key was in the Roberts mansion. Ooh, the Journal of Stephen Moss. Bernard Hopkins, 31 Silver Lake Boulevard. Father died in mine accident. He was at home day Vivian was killed. No alibi. Aha! So his father was killed in the mining accident. Thought so. Interview with Dorothy. Interview with Mary. Tomorrow at Moon Cafe. Meeting sheriff at Outpost at 10 a.m. on 511. He mentioned wanting to show me some files. I found a hidden panel in the inn's reception area. It's part of the counter. It's hard to pop open. The latch is placed at one of the corners. There's some interesting stuff they hide in there. Ooh, hidden panel. I want to see what's at the hidden panel. Let's see. What else we got here? Ooh, pictures. Is that Sophia? Is there anything on the back? Well then, at the hospital, creepy woman in black again. Code is Calvin's date of birth. Good to know. What is this? Where can I find the key? It doesn't say where it is. I'm assuming that's also at the church. Okay, interesting. What else we got? I wish you could just like pry things open. But I don't have a key for this, and I don't know where the key would be. I could recheck his car, maybe? I don't know. Well, I'll just have to come back to that. Okay, so there's a hidden panel somewhere. I'm gonna assume it's here? I found it! Oh look, it's a rabbit! Ah, that's cute. Take a picture of the rabbit. Take 2 pictures of the rabbit. Let's see. Logbook. Interesting. Yeah, bunny, it's so cute. Ooh, March 20th, 1997. There's a private investigator in town by the name of Steve Moss. Rumor has it that someone hired him to investigate Vivian's death after the police ceased their own search. It's tragic that Vivian's murder case was never solved. April 9th, 1997. I saw Matthew today while he was cleaning the church. He looked thinner than he used to be. We talked for a bit. He told me that he will be leaving Painscreek soon as his services won't be needed here anymore. I think the recent deaths in Painscreek affected him tremendously, not to mention the tragedy that befell his adopted son Scott. Even now, no one knows what really happened. None of the cases were ever solved. Sometimes I wonder if Scott did kill Vivian, or was he just unfortunate and wrongly accused? Good question. I don't know. We'll find out. April 14th, 1997. Mr. Moss came by today. He decided to question me, see if I know anything he hadn't already learned. I told him everything I legally could. When asked how his investigation went, he said something about an incident that happened in 1975, which just might be the breakthrough that he needed. As he left, I could not help but wonder if it had anything to do with the mansion maid who left Painscreek. So yeah, it probably did. Good question. I wonder if that's the only thing is in here. Is there something else hidden? Can I take the bunny? No, I can't take the bunny. Okay. Well, drats. I guess that's all there is here. I am not sure where to go next, other than the church. So let's go back to the church. Why don't we? So I am going to guess that the chest key is to the chest in the storage room and that the other key is to the father's room upstairs. And that Father Calvin's birthday, whatever it is the code to this. I still don't know what it is. Lots of stuff. Okay, so here's another diary. Let's go ahead and read this. Okay, another one from 1993. November 30th, 1993. I asked Andrew about Sophia. First, he freaked out, saying that I shouldn't go around speaking that name. Then he said he had never heard that name in his life. Is he hiding something? Why would he lie about Sophia? This makes me want to know who Sophia is even more. Thursday, December 2nd. I asked Wanda if she knew anything about Sophia. She said Sophia used to work as a maid for the mansion for a few years until she was let go. When asked why, Wanda said she didn't know. However, she thought that Sophia was a manipulative woman that would do anything to get what she wanted, and Wanda resented that. I think Wanda had a thing for Charles, and Charles didn't have a thing for her, so she took it out on Sophia. I also think that Derek followed in his mother's footsteps and has a thing for Trisha, and it was also unrequited. But that's just me. Wednesday, December 8th. I met Derek today and asked if he knew anyone by the name of Sophia. Apparently, he's not on speaking terms with me. I wonder if it has anything to do with Trisha. December 13th. During today's lunch break, I asked Bernard if he knew about Sophia. He was surprised that I knew that name and proceeded to tell me he did not know her that well. Somehow I feel uncomfortable whenever I talk with Bernard. His cold gaze gives me the shivers. December 18th. I met Dorothy while tending to the garden. I asked her about Sophia and she looked confused. She was curious as to where I had heard that name. I told her it came from Andrew. She kindly explained that Sophia was a close friend of hers when Sophia first came to work for the Roberts family. Unfortunately, she had an affair with Charles when Vivian was hospitalized. Shortly after, she left Painscreek and no one has heard of her ever since. Dorothy thinks that Sophia has probably started a new life in another place. I wonder if the affair was the reason everyone's quiet about it. Probably. Oh, what is this? St. Patrick's Orphanage, February 2nd, 1994. Dear Scott, I am Sister Rachel. Although I wasn't here when you last came, I hope you remember me. I was your nursing mother after you arrived here those years ago. I understand that you came here earlier to find out how you came to be at St. Patrick's Orphanage. On July 4th, 1975, Father Calvin came to us holding a basket with you in it. He said that you'd lost your parents and that there's no one to take care of you. He told us that your name was Scott. After he left, Sister Emma asked if I would be willing to take care of a baby. At first I hesitated because it was a huge responsibility. But when I saw your face, so full of innocence and curiosity, I felt as if God had delivered you to me. I accepted the task. When you were 10, Father Matthew came to see you. He had just become the head priest of Painscreek Trinity Church. He visited often, usually at the beginning of the month. Whenever he left, he would leave an envelope containing a small sum of money. He said it was for everything you needed, and that whatever was left was then given to the orphanage. I would be lying to say that I wasn't sad when you left the orphanage, but when Father Matthew adopted you, I believed that your life would be better in Painscreek than here, and I dearly hope it's so. Everything enclosed within the package used to be yours. I think you should have these. May God bless you. Sister Rachel Davis. Right, ambitious women, darn. Exactly. What is with ambitious women in this game? I don't know. Oh, I got a key to the basement. Heck yeah, storing that. I've already read that. No need to keep reading it. My Baby Boy, 1975. I guess I'll just take a picture of that. Okay. Got a rocket ship. can't pick that up though. Okay, so it looks like now I am going to go to Father's house. Father's room upstairs. I need Calvin's birthday, so let me go to the study as well. And then we gotta go down to the basement. Oh yeah, I forgot that there's a locked room here too. Let me try a few things. Well, it's not Scott's birthday. Okay. I don't know what it would be then. I know I've already searched this before in a previous stream. Please apologize, or I apologize for doing it again, but, you know, I think I'm missing something, because there's a lot of locked stuff still. Oh, it's Father Matthew's diary. A few months have passed since I arrived here. Missionary trip is harder than I expected. There's no clean water, food lacks nutrients, there isn't enough medicine. We have requested help from the WHO, but haven't received any reply yet. I feel so frustrated. What can I do? March 3rd, 1975. When Father Calvin first sent me here, he asked if I would be willing to stay for 6 months. It would be a good training for me, he said. I agreed. That was before I came. 6 months have now passed. I think I will extend this for another 6 months. The people here need as much help as they can get. I am not a doctor, but I can help them through my support and prayers. I will let Father Calvin know about my decision. September 16th, 1975. Time flies. Can't believe I'll be going home tomorrow. I will miss the people here. At the same time, I can't wait to get back home and meet everyone again. September 19th, 1975. Father Calvin summoned me this morning and told me that Sophia had left Painscreek. How can that be? Last time we wrote, she told me she had so many things to share with me when I got back. Was she forced? Is she hiding something? I just cannot believe that Sophia left without telling me anything. Something must have happened to her that she could not tell me. December 29th, 1975. It's been almost 6 months since Sophia left Painscreek. I have asked everyone around. No one seemed to know where she went. Father Calvin told me not to let it go. He's right. I should not dwell on matters of the heart. There are more important things in life that I need to focus on. If Sophia and I are meant to meet again, God will let me know. It's time I move on with my life. I'm sorry, fam, but I think Sophia's dead. Ew, another diary. How quaint. February 25th, 1971. I had always wanted to be adopted, but I guess heaven had something else in store for me. Instead of being taken in by a family, I came to Painscreek Trinity Church. To be honest, I would prefer to have a real family with people whom I call Mom and Dad. But Father Calvin has said that God has other plans for my future, and in time I will come to realize it. May 2nd, 1971. The Roberts family is looking for a new maid. Told Mrs. Roberts that a relative of mine would fit the position really well. I know I shouldn't lie, but I want Sophia to be here in Painscreek. Father Calvin always said we have to help those who are in need. Sophia is in need, and I am sure she will be glad to have this job. August 10th. Since starting the job at the mansion, Sophia has settled in nicely. Whenever she has time off from work, we've been exploring Painscreek together. I have so much to show her. This is just like the orphanage days, and I'm extremely comfortable being with her. October 27th. Today was Sophia's day off. We ate at the Moon Cafe again. I can't seem to get enough of this place. The food is delicious, the atmosphere relaxing, and the coffee tastes great. Maybe it's all because of Sophia's company. Still, I love to hang out here. This is definitely one of my favorite places in Painscreek, followed closely by the church and Little Big Books. Yeah, so I'm gonna guess that Sophia was not his cousin. I am gonna guess that Sophia is either his lover or something else. Maybe Sophia is, just a friend from the orphanage. Who knows? Maybe Sophia's his sister. Ooh, O'Malley and Associates, Attorney at Law. 46 Silver Lake Boulevard. Dear Mr. Brooks, we have evaluated your case and we accept the request to represent your son, Scott Brooks, in court. We are in the process of drafting an appeal for his release. Considering the sensitivity of the situation, we urge you to not to make any public statements until consulting with us. Additionally, we would like copies of any government documents related in any way to your son, medical records, transactional receipts, travel documents, previous criminal charges, if any, etc. The more we have, the better we can help in your son's case. We will be in contact within the next few days. Sincerely, Brendan O'Malley. And here is something from Emerald State Bank, 32 Black Pine Road, to Matthew Brooks, 46 Silver Lake Boulevard. Well, there's account information. Okay. Let's see. Donation from the Roberts family. 8/8/95. August of 95, they donated $1,000. Why would they donate money after his son just murdered Vivian? If they really truly believed that he was the one who murdered Vivian. 8/11, payment for church maintenance. Check from car dealership. Apparently he owns a car. Okay. Sunday tithings. Hosting community potluck. First payment fee for Scott's lawyers, $2,000. Woo. Sunday tithings. Roof fixing. Cemetery maintenance service. Sunday tithings. Second payment fee for Scott's lawyers. Jeez. Pilgrimage traveling fee and youth program finance. Oh, goodness. Well, that's expensive. Indeed. Okay. Let's see if there's something else that we're missing in here. Okay, so this is not able to be used here. I thought it would lead to this door, but this door doesn't have a key that I can see. Okay, well, I guess let's head back out and try another area. Okay, there's nothing in here that matches the cabinet with the cross shape on it in this location. So maybe it's in another house. It did not say on those pictures that I found. See, there's like a water boiler and a chest. I bet you this is the cottage. Let's go back to the cottage. Also, if you're still with me, thank you for watching. I'll probably go ahead and log off in the next few minutes, like probably 10:30ish. So we got probably another like 20 minutes of me streaming. But thank you so much for sticking with me throughout this until we can figure out what's going on. Oh, there's a pathway there. I feel like I'm ever so close to figuring out what the hell's going on, but like it seems every time I'm close, I feel far away as well. Oh, it worked. Okay, another Scott diary. On Valentine's Day, Trisha gave me some chocolate. I've never seen that brand before. I bet it must be expensive. I haven't finished making the music box. I had hoped that it would be her Valentine's Day present. I'll just give it to her later. Hopefully she can forgive me. February 18th. Been quite some time since I last talked to Father Matthew. He's always asking how I'm doing after Sunday service, but I tend to ignore him whenever possible. I know it's wrong. I need to find a way to make amends with him. April 19th, 1994. The grass has been growing wild lately. Weeds are everywhere and Andrew's not here. Actually, he hasn't been here for quite a while now. I wonder what happened to him. I should visit him after work tomorrow. Saturday, September 23rd. I was about to pick Andrew up for work when I found him lying unconscious on the floor. There was an empty bottle of sleeping pills on the table. I immediately called the ambulance. According to the nurse, this is Andrew's third suicide attempt. She's glad that I saved him in time. An hour later and he could have died. I don't know why Andrew would commit suicide. What I know is that he must be lonely. He needs a friend. September 28th. I visited Andrew at the hospital today. He's out at ER and is recovering quite well. While I was cutting the fruits, he told me his story. In 1972, there was a maid who came to work at the mansion. Her name was Sophia. She was a hard-working young lady with a great personality. She was loved by many. A few years into her job, however, she had an affair with Charles. A child was born. When Vivian found out, she was furious and decided to kick her out of Painscreek. What happened after that was a tragedy. On June 26, 1975, at 11 p.m., Vivian, Dr. Johnson, and Andrew confronted Sophia. A fight broke out. Sophia fell and hit her head on a nearby well. She stopped moving. Dr. Johnson checked and realized she was dead. Her neck had broken. No one knew what to do. Vivian then asked Andrew to take care of the body and her baby. Andrew did what he had to do to protect Vivian. After that night, they vowed never to tell anybody about the incident. Before leaving, I asked Andrew what the baby's name was. He said it was Vincent. As I left the hospital, I couldn't help but pity Andrew. He's lived a confusing life, and the struggle shows. I hope he can heal. Ha ha! So, my assumptions were correct. The three who died within a month of each other in 1995 are the three who killed Sophia. Huh, interesting. Father Matthews was related to Sophia. Huh, also interesting. I wonder if Father Matthews is the real culprit. If he is the real one who killed all of them. For what, was done to Sophia. I guess, we'll find out. Hoo-hoo, there is a secret room. Nice. Okay, so we got some interesting stuff here. I am going to take a picture of this. So Sophia was his mother. He is Vincent. And it looks like there's an old sewer entrance, which I have found already, but I don't have a key to, so I'm going to guess maybe that key that I found goes to it. Been to Bernard's house. I have not been to Derek and Wanda's house, but I don't have a key for there either. Andrew's house is 7 Black Pine Road. I've been there. I've been to Dorothy's house. Birdhouse in the hunting grounds. I've seen the birdhouse, but I don't know what anything has to do with it. Time capsule, I've not seen that either. So, yeah. Let's see what else is going on. Found out who killed my mother. So who was it? Like, It says it was Vivian Vivian, James, and Andrew, according to the journal entry. But was that really who did it? I don't know. Oh, the sewers. And how to get into the hospital. Nice. Okay. Ooh, another diary. February 13th, 1995. I realized who I am from the moment I saw the photo. I have the exact same blanket. I know who my father is. Everything makes sense now. Tuesday, March 7th, 1995. I visited Andrew today. I needed to know where they hid Mom's body, but he cried and begged me not to say anything about it to any more. There was no room for whatever questions I had left. I then told him I'm the boy he gave to Father Calvin to get rid of. He was utterly shocked. After that I left. I could not bear to look at him for another second. I know who I am, and now I feel everything is falling apart. April 3rd. Andrew came to the cabin and told me where the body was hidden. He said he was sorry and left. Externally I was quiet, internally I was sputtering and livid. After he left, I came to my room and cried. April 4th. The well had dried up and was covered in moss. Couldn't have known that the well even existed if I didn't work at the mansion. I finally found Mom's body. I buried her in the cemetery next to Father Calvin. There was no tombstone for her, just a wooden cross. I don't think Father Calvin would mind. After all, he was the one who saved me. So that's the wooden cross with the flowers on it. A month has passed. I haven't worked since, and I've stopped meeting anyone. Trisha knocks on my door every day, but I would hide each time. She cries every time, begging me to come out, anxious to know why I won't see her, if she has done anything wrong. I don't know what to say to her, but I know we cannot be together anymore. May 13th. Father Matthew visited me today. He said that he hasn't seen me at church for a while, that no one has heard from me in weeks. When he asked how I was doing, I began crying. The tears just flowed down my cheeks. I cried, and I just couldn't stop them. I told him everything. I told him that I know that Charles is my father. I confessed that I now know that Trisha was my half-sister. I said I didn't know what to do, and he listened and didn't speak. God, I felt really bad for this guy. He had such a fucked up life. I mean, what the fuck? I guess it's to be expected. You know, weird, creepy little town, middle of nowhere. Lots of drama, political intrigue, stuff like that. So the birdhouse is marked here. I don't know why it's marked here. Must be something to do with the birdhouses. Maybe it's because of this like little box over here. Still not sure what code is though for it. the music box is the box in Trish's room. Should I go open that? Should I open the sewers? Or should I use this old mansion gate key? Let's do the music box first, then the gate. Bye, Dit Cat. It was nice having you. And then the sewer. And what I'll do is I'll go to Trish's, open the box, and then we will call it a night, and we will pick up with this tomorrow. I wonder what's going to be in the music box, if it's going to be something interesting or not. Going to guess maybe it's the truth about Scott, and maybe that's why Trisha dies later. Maybe she takes her life. I don't know. Dear Trisha, I've grown to learn about my birth parents. I feel as if a great veil has been lifted from my eyes. I now understand why Father Matthew was against us seeing each other. He was right. We shouldn't be together. Please believe me when I say I did not kill your mother. I've never lied to you, and I never will. I don't know who killed Vivian. Hopefully the truth will come to light someday. There is so much that I want to tell you, but I cannot at this moment. I pray the day when I can express everything to you will come quickly. All I can say now is that I am sorry for all the pain that I've caused you. Please forgive me. So I am going to believe him in that he did not kill Vivian. And the reason for that is I honestly think he didn't do it. You know, I don't think he had it in him to murder somebody. I think that potentially the person who murdered Vivian is actually Father Matthew. That's my guess for who killed Vivian at this point. I think he killed all three of them. I think he killed Andrew. I think he killed James Howard. Or Henry Johnson, or whatever his name was. I keep calling him James Howard. Henry Johnson. And I think he killed Vivian Roberts. And you know what? I think that's why... Let me go back to the photos real quick. Go to the photo of the church that I took. I think that's why this was the name of the Sunday Mass. The truth shall set you free. He'll set you free, all right. Free of the mortal coil, because as soon as he learned the truth, I bet you he murdered all three of them. I think it was a sad byproduct that Trisha and Scott soon died after that. I don't know what else has happened, but I guess we'll find out next time. I will update the schedule to let you guys know when I'm streaming the remaining portion of this game. Thank you everybody for coming and joining in. It has been great. It has been fun, but now it is almost 10:30 and it is time to put the stream to bed. If you haven't already and you're still watching, you know, go ahead and hop into Discord. Like, next time when I'm streaming, we can actually talk to one another through voice in the Discord, because that's where I am. I am on voice in the Discord. So thank you, everybody. Have a great and wonderful, lovely day. And I will talk to you all later. Bye.